CD Projekt Red have announced that they are making a new Witcher game. Now, obviously, Witcher 3 was massively successful. I think everyone thought that sequels would be in the works, but they are treating this like a massive deal, because they're not just announcing that their new game is in the works for the Witcher series, but also they are changing engine from what they used to be with things like Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077. Because they used to use the Red engine, but now switching to Unreal 5 and beginning a multi-year strategic partnership with Epic Games. They say that the deal covers not only licensing, but future development work on Unreal 5, such as changes to help tailor the engine for open-world experiences, which is obviously exactly what The Witcher's after. And while there was some concern that this partnership would lead it to be exclusive to the Epic Game Store, they have come out and confirmed that this will not be the case, and it will be available on multiple stores, as is standard for CD Projekt Red. This even makes more sense when you realise they own their own storefront, so cutting themselves off from themselves would have been a bit of a strange business move. But overall, isn't it a strange business move anyway? I mean, at the end of the day, they even say, at this point, we have no further details regarding the game, such as development timeframe or release date, are available. Essentially, they can't even talk about the game. This is something which you see over and over again. People announcing games years in advance, and I have to say, why? What do you want to achieve from this? What is the marketing goal of telling us that you're making a new Witcher game? Didn't we already know? I think we already assumed that you would be making another Witcher game, especially after what happened with Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 was a game which had its first trailer in 2013, and it released on the 10th of December 2020. That's a 7-year time frame from initial announcement to the release of the game. And I have to say, after all of that time, what was the benefit of announcing it in 2013? Do they really think that people held their hype up until 2020? Or was it something that built over time as more details actually got released? Because we've got no details for this. And what's the idea? Does The Witcher need the extra advertisement? Do you honestly think that you can release a Witcher game and people won't buy it at this point, even after what happened to the 2077 launch? I mean, I don't even like game announcements where the only thing you have is sort of a CGI trailer for it. But we don't even have this yet. This could be a game at the concept stages, and they've gone, oh yeah, it's great. I mean, what's it for? Because this isn't for gamers. Do you need to boost your stock prices? I don't really know what you're hoping to gain from this or what the marketing strategy is, and it's not the only time. Elder Scrolls 6 was another game, first teased in 2018, and it's nowhere in sight. We don't know how many more years we're going to be waiting for this. Why? This was probably all they had when they announced it. Oh yeah, well, we know it exists, and we've just made a screen with a title on. That'll do. I think games companies should question themselves what they hope to gain from announcing something years in advance, because any hype you build originally is not going to last through to the end. And so isn't that pointless? In a world with so many games released year on year, I struggle to care about something released in Christmas at this time of year, let alone years in the future. All that happens when I read The Witcher is, oh, really? Okay, nice. I think one of the best game launches was actually Apex Legends. Do you remember the surprise launch that had? Oh yeah, we've made this game, here's some gameplay of it. Oh, and if you want to play it, just log on, the servers are live. That was awesome, that was incredible. That was an entire marketing push done in one day, all of the focus done on that day, and the hype blew it into the stratosphere, and it's still incredibly popular even now. But how many people are actually genuinely excited about Elder Scrolls 6? Yeah, sure, if we found out the game was going to be released, I'm sure the hype would build again. But do you really even think of this on a day-to-day basis? I highly doubt it. And that's exactly what's going to happen to The Witcher. This isn't going to advertise anything. This isn't going to cause any hype. People will read this, go, oh, another Witcher game, that's cool, and then completely forget about it, because it's not close enough to care about. And after what they did to Cyberpunk 2077, at this point you would have thought they would learn that maybe we should get a game almost finished before we actually start talking about it, because otherwise we might feel pressured to release stuff. Because quite frankly, development can only go so long in the public space before people just assume it's vaporware. I'm looking at you, Star Citizen. Battlefield 2042 had a similar issue. If all of these games had just held on being announced until the game was almost ready, then actually everything would have gone better, because you couldn't actually need delays, because the game would have already been done, and you could have fit all your marketing in a short space of time and kept people interested the entire marketing push, rather than announcing it years in advance and people just stopping caring. So by the time you come to your actual marketing push, you've actually lost a lot of the excitement that you could have built if it came out of the blue. With so many games being released, there's too much competition to actually maintain excitement about something for multiple years. Because in that time, you're going to have seen hundreds or thousands of games been released that all carried that same amount of hype and marketing push, with them. And at the end of the day, The Witcher is so massive, I'm not even sure what you think you can gain from this. The only thing that can happen from this is that it can actually hurt you, because now people are going to be thinking about it in a few years. Yeah, that Witcher game, whatever happened to that? Why is that not out yet? You've set a ticking clock on your own development, and you've gained nothing in return for it. There's no benefit for the company, and there's no benefit for the gamers. So at the end of the day, why are we doing this? But let me know your thoughts down below. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.